A storm was raging that night, tearing through the town. I was Mark, your late-night DJ, ready to spin tracks and take calls. But the voices calling in weren't looking for music. They had stories, and they were nothing like I'd heard before. I arrived at the station just as the first bolts of lightning split the sky. The rain pelted my windshield, making it hard to see. The streets were deserted, the only sounds, the thunderclaps and the roar of the wind. Inside, the radio station was eerily quiet, usually bustling with a late-night staff and technicians. Tonight I was greeted by an unsettling silence. The emergency lights cast long, wavering shadows across the empty hallways. I grabbed my coat from the back of my chair and settled into the DJ booth, the familiar hum of equipment providing a strange sense of comfort amidst the chaos outside. "Good evening, night owls," I began, my voice steady despite the unease creeping up my spine. "This is Mark on WQSR 107.3 FM, keeping you company through this wild storm. Phone lines are open. Tell me what's on your mind tonight." Minutes into the broadcast, the red light indicating an incoming call blinked to life. Surprised the lines were working despite the storm, I pressed the button. "You're on the air with Mark." A shaky voice came through. I think I'm lost." "Rough night to be out. Where are you trying to get to?" "I'm not sure," the caller replied, sounding confused and disoriented. "I was driving home, but the roads don't look familiar anymore. The storm is messing with my GPS." "What's your name? Friend?" "Kevin." "All right, Kevin. Stay calm. Can you describe any landmarks?" "There's nothing, just road and trees. But I keep seeing figures in the fog standing by the roadside." A chill ran down my spine. "Probably just shadows playing tricks. Be careful out there." Kevin chuckled nervously. "Yeah, shadows." His voice trailed off, and I heard the line click dead. I tried to brush it off, attributing it to the storm's effect on callers. 30 minutes later, another call came through. "Mark here. Who's this?" "I'm trying to get home," a woman said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I think I'm lost in my own neighborhood." "That's odd. What's your name?" "Sandra." "All right, Sandra. What's happening?" "The streets keep looping back. Every turn I take brings me back to the same spot. And I think someone's following me." "Have you seen anyone?" "No, but I hear footsteps splashing in the puddles behind me. Whenever I stop, they stop." Goosebumps prickled my arms. "Maybe you should find a well-lit place and call the authorities." "I've tried. My phone cuts out every time I dial." But before I could respond, the line clicked off. I stared at the control board, unease settling in. 2 lost callers in one night. The storm must be causing more havoc than I thought. An hour later, another call came through. "WQSR, this is Mark." A man sighed heavily. "I think there's something wrong with the old bridge on Route 22. "In what way?" "It felt longer tonight, like it stretched on forever. And when I reached the other side and looked back, the bridge wasn't there." I blinked. "What do you mean?" "It just wasn't there. Only darkness." Then, once again, the line went silent. I couldn't shake the growing feeling that something was off. I tried calling out to the station manager on the intercom, but remembered I was alone. The storm intensified, rain pounding against the windows like a relentless tide. I decided to take a short break, playing a pre-recorded segment to gather my thoughts. Returning to the booth, I noticed the phone lines blinking again. I answered. "You're on with Mark." The voice on the other end was distorted. "There's a problem on Old Mill Road." "What's happening?" "The road's flooded over, but I can see headlights under the water, like cars are submerged down there." Are you safe?" "I don't know," the caller whispered. "I think I saw someone down there, looking up at me." A crack of thunder echoed, and the line went dead for the 4th time that night. My hands were trembling now. 4 calls, each more unsettling than the last. I tried to rationalize it. Bad weather, frayed nerves, but it wasn't helping. As my shift neared its end, one final call came through. Reluctantly, I picked up. "This is Mark." "Hello, Mark." The voice was calm, familiar. "Do I know you?" "Yes, though it's been a while." "What's your name?" "David." My heart skipped a beat. David was a regular caller months ago, always sharing stories and song requests. But he'd stopped calling. He had been reported missing, and his disappearance had been in the local news. "David, where have you been?" "Just around. Tonight's a rough one, isn't it?" "Are you okay? People have been worried." "Never better. I wanted to thank you for the nights you kept me company." "David, where are you? Closer than you think?" A cold chill enveloped me. "What do you mean?" "Maybe we'll catch up soon. Take care, Mark." The line disconnected. Frantically, I pulled out my phone and started looking up the callers. Kevin, Sandra, the man from Route 22, and David. Each search returned the same chilling result. They had all been reported missing during previous storms. Not a trace of them found since. The eerie silence in the booth pressed down on me as I packed up my gear. Stepping outside, I froze. Everywhere I looked, power and phone lines lay broken, shattered by the storm. My stomach dropped as the realization hit me like a punch. Those calls, they couldn't have come through. My heart raced as I got into my car, the remnants of the storm whispering around me. The drive home was haunted by thoughts of voices reaching out from the void. When dawn broke, I made a decision I never thought I'd make. I quit, haunted by the night's events. Now, whenever storms gather, I can't shake the feeling that somewhere, those lost voices might still be calling out, desperate to connect. Just one last time.